Hi, everyone. So today's class, the focus for the natural comfort technique or natural pain technique will be visualization. So visualization works, we think, because it releases endorphins and it makes women feel safe. They can focus on a beautiful picture. I'm going to show you some of the things I got here. I'll come a little closer. So I've got a number of pictures which I have found beautiful. You might use a picture of a beautiful flower. Here's a cute doggy, which releases endorphins and oxytocin because you fall in love with it. Something vast, rather than thinking that your pelvis is a tiny little structure to get your baby out, it's good to think of something huge and vast, like a big tree, something inspiring. It also makes you think about nature, that nature works. Beautiful photo of a baby, of course, and you might use a photo of your own child if this is a subsequent pregnancy. Obviously, my photos are not going to suit everybody, but they're just some ideas, things I downloaded from the internet. That's a big cave. Imagine that your pelvis was a massive cave and your baby was just going to fall out in labor, of course. And, you've got the typical oxytocin, a gorgeous couple kissing, and then this one's rather nice because it looks like a cervix. So cervix opening, you could visualize that in your pelvis when you're in labor. So there are a number of photos you can use. You can use many things. Here I've got a flower. You could take a flower into labor with you and stare at the flower as you have contractions. That could be really beautiful. You could have a piece of fruit, a lemon. You can even hold it in your hand. It's a bit like a stress ball, and you can feel the temperature and look at the color and feel the waxiness of it. Or you can just visualize things in your mind. You don't need all these things, candle, whatever you like. So consider taking some of those things into the labor room with you. So we're going to use visualization today. Come on to all fours. Just start to rock from side to side. Birth is like a dance. The body moves. The body moves to get rid of the adrenaline, which builds up because of the pain of the contractions. Labor is much, much harder if you're stuck on your back on a bed. It's like a dance. The body takes over. Birth is the body's domain. We have to get the mind out of the way. High levels of oxytocin help us do that, but preparing for it, just the way we prepare for anything else, a marathon, a hike, anything, we prepare, we put work into prepare, and labor is no different, labor and birth. So make circles with the hips and the shoulders. Whenever the body decides, see if you can get the mind out of the way for a moment, and when the body decides, just change direction. And then your body decides again to change direction, to make the circles bigger or smaller. And tuck your toes under with your knees hip distance apart. Walk the hands in, sit back on the heels, and you might want to rub your thighs to deal with the sensations, because that interrupts the major pain sensations that go to the brain. Or you could visualize that lemon. Think of its yellowness. Think of its waxiness in your hands. Think of its temperature. Feel its taste on your tongue. And come onto all fours. The contraction is over. All right, I'd like you to take a block, please. Hopefully you've got 2 blocks, or maybe you've got a couple of blankets you could use, and you're going to come into kneeling, taking the block between the feet so that my buttocks are on the block. If that's too low, I could go up one. Yep. Notice I haven't got my feet out here. That's really not good for my hip socket. I want my feet, my inner heels to touch my outer hips that way. Whoops. So I'm going to come into kneeling into Virasana, And of course, in pregnancy, I want to have the knees apart, not bring them together, so that the pelvic floor can release. If you've got an unstable pelvis, you might want to bring the knees closer together, but I would suggest that you don't have the knees directly together in this pose. All right, clasp your fingers, press your hands forwards, draw the elbows in towards each other, raise the arms up, lift up from your side waist, up through your ribs, up to the crown of your head, press the palms of the hands towards the ceiling. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Breathe into the intensity. Notice where the intensity is in your body. Settle your mind and breathe with it rather than running away from it. Really welcome this sensation. Yes, this is a great sensation. Yes, I can do this. Exhale the arms down. Turn the palms towards you. Change the cross of your fingers. Press the hands forwards. Draw the elbows in towards each other. Raise the arms up. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Lift up from your side ribs and bring to mind a flower. Bring to mind a rose. The color, the softness of the petals, the smell, the sweet smell of the rose. And exhale the arms out to the sides. Let's work a little bit with the strengthening of the pelvic floor. Important stuff to do every day if you can. Turn the palms out. You're going to lift the pelvic floor up just about a third of the way and hold and breathe. And another third and hold and breathe. That's not quite a third, is it? And all the way up to penthouse and hold and breathe. Now you're going to come down the same way. So really control the pelvic floor as you come down. Release a bit and hold and breathe and release a bit and hold and breathe and release a bit and hold and breathe and all the way down to basement. Really release the pelvic floor down, right down. Because when you birth your baby, you want to be able to let go of your pelvic floor, not hang on to it. These pelvic floor strengthening exercises are the most evidence-based ones. They're much more successful than anything ultrasoundy or electronic. Basically just lifting, holding and breathing. And then slowly releasing. That's the way you'll keep your pelvic floor really strong. If you've got an unstable pelvis, strong pelvic floor muscles are going to help that. Turn the palms out and come up. Let's go 25% this time. Hold and breathe. So up to first floor, second floor, hold and breathe. Third floor, hold and breathe. Penthouse, hold and breathe. Third floor, hold and breathe. Second floor, hold and breathe. First floor, hold and breathe. Basement, all the way down. Let's do one more. First floor, hold and breathe. Second floor, hold and breathe. Third floor, hold and breathe. And all the way up to penthouse. And here, hold and breathe. Down to second, hold and breathe. Down to first, hold and breathe. And all the way down to basement and completely let go. So that when your baby's head is crowning, women sometimes start to lift and hold and grip the buttocks because it's a bit scary and the sensations are a bit unusual. But if you've practiced this, you can exhale, release the pelvic floor, broaden the buttocks. Yeah. All right. From there, I'm going to get you to come up to standing. And we're going to work with half dog to start off with. So hands at waist height. Place the hands on the wall at waist height, hands shoulder width apart. Spread your fingers, open your palms, and step back so that the outer edges of your feet are parallel with the outer edges of your mat. Push the wall away and elongate your buttocks back away from the wall so that you create a very long top of your box. Lift the back of the leg so you create a very high side of your box. Keep the ears in line with the upper arms, deep inward, deep outward breath. Bend the knees and step up and forwards. Going to come into Gomukhasana, just top arm. Feet hip distance apart. If you've got an unstable pelvis, stand with the feet together. Raise the right arm up, turn the palm back and take the hand down between the shoulder blades. And then from there, you could take your left hand onto your right elbow, push your right elbow up into your left hand and bring the right elbow back behind the line of the ear. The tendency here is to then push the pelvis forwards to get the elbow back. Press the thighs back and bring your weight back into your heels and raise your right elbow up. Deep inward, deep outward breath. And then exhale and release that arm down. Turn to the other side. Raise the left arm up. Turn the palm back. Take the hand down between the shoulder blades. Bring the right hand on top of the left elbow. Push the left elbow up into the right hand to elongate the left upper arm. Bring the elbow back. Look up towards the ceiling. Breathe into the intensity. Where is the intensity in your body? Notice that you're not running away from it. You might say to yourself, yes, I can do this. Yes, these are my sensations. Breathe into your sensations. And exhale the arms all the way down. Let's go once more to half dog. So bring to mind now something that you'd like to visualize. Maybe a flower, maybe a lemon, maybe a peach, maybe a tree. You might have some of those photos that I had stuck up onto the wall that you can gaze at them. Bring the hands to waist height and step back. Notice the sensation, so try not to run away from the sensations and bring to mind the lemon, the yellowness of it, the smell of it, maybe the smell of lemon blossom, which is amazing. The lemon tree where the lemon came from, the leaves, the bees buzzing around. Really engage your mind in all the sensations of visualization, not just the eye, not just the creation behind the eyes, but the smell, the feel, the temperature. Bend the knees, inhale, and come all the way up. From there, we're going to go into a couple of standing poses. We'll start with triangle pose. I might come this way so that you can see from the side. So, yeah, I don't want to go with my back to you. So let's start with the outer edge of your left foot to the wall, step the right foot out so that you have a leg length between your feet. Turn your whole right leg out 90 degrees. Maybe have a slightly narrower stance if you have an unstable pelvis. Draw the right leg up into the hip socket. So when you're pregnant, you want to create more stability because you've got the natural flexibility from the relaxing. Draw the legs up to the center of the pelvis rather than pushing out into the feet. Everything needs to be compacted towards the center of the pelvis. I think about drawing my legs up towards my navel in pregnancy when I was pregnant a long time ago. Extend the arms out at shoulder height. Inhale as you exhale, reach out over your right leg. Take your right hand down. Don't go down so low if you're unstable in the pelvis. If you've got any of that pelvic pain through the buttock, through the inner thigh, through the pubis, just don't go down so low. Now from there, turn. Press your right buttock forwards. Turn with your right chest. Turn your left shoulder back and extend your top arm towards the ceiling. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Stay with the breath. Couple of breaths. Now again, notice where the sensations are in the body. Breathe one breath at a time. That's all you have to focus on in labor. not the next contraction, not the next hour. Get rid of the clock, cover it up, one breath at a time. Press into your back foot, inhale and come up. Turn the toes of your right foot in and step the feet back towards Tadasana. Go to the other side. Take the outer edge of your right foot to the wall. Step the left foot out. The outer edges of your feet parallel with each other. Turn the whole left leg out 90 degrees with the left heel in line with the center of your back foot. Raise your arms. Inhale as you exhale, reach out over your left leg. Bring your left hand down. Once more, if you're unstable in the pelvis, don't go down so low. Keep the hand quite high. Take the hand down. Turn the left chest forwards. Press the left buttock forwards and reach your top arm towards the ceiling. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Stay with the breath. Press into your back foot, inhale and come up. Turn the toes of your left foot in and step back to Tadasana. Outer edges of your feet parallel. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest and extend your fingertips to the floor. Heels. I'm not tucking the pelvis under, not asking you to do that, but keep the lower back long and bring your baby back towards your spine. The tendency is this when you're pregnant, everything goes forward and then the lower back starts to get really sore. Bring your baby back towards your spine, lengthen your buttocks down. Stay contained here. Warrior two. We're going to go from warrior two into Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Take a block. If your pelvis is unstable, you will take the block between your thighs and come into Utkatasana, chair pose. Otherwise, you'll take the block on its highest height. Take the outer edge of your left foot to the wall and step the right foot out so that you have a big distance between your feet. Turn your whole right leg out 90 degrees with your right heel in line with the center of the back foot. Inhale. As you exhale, sit the right buttock down. Press the inner knee on the right leg to the outer knee and press the left hand onto the wall. So your torso is upright. Now reach out over your right leg. Take your hand onto your block underneath the line of your shoulder. Press your right buttock forwards. Turn your left shoulder back and extend the top arm up towards the ceiling. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Once more, notice where the intensity is in your body and just bring objects to mind, a flower, a blue sky, the sun in the sky, the enormous ocean, a turtle, a fish, and inhale and come up. So you can really use your visualization to, if you like, distract the mind. Let's go to the other side. Outer edge of your right foot to the wall. Step the left foot out. It's a wide stance. Turn the whole left leg out 90 degrees. Raise the arms. So first of all, you're coming into warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Press the right hand against the wall, extend the left arm out. Just remember, if you've got pelvic pain, this pose is not for you. Please follow the instructions, the cautions. Exhale, reach out over the left leg, take your left hand down onto your block. Press the left buttock forwards, turn the right shoulder back and raise the top arm. Deep inward, deep outward breath, extend into your fingertips. Once more, you can bring to mind the warm sun, a boat bobbing on the water, a forest, a huge beech tree. Inhale to come up. Turn the feet to the center and step the feet back. Tadasana. Feet hip distance apart. Outer edges of your feet parallel with the outer edges of the mat. Take a moment to breathe. Soften your face, smile, helps to release endorphins. Get your partner to tell you great jokes in between your contractions. At some point when labor gets really intense, you won't be able to bear it, the jokes I mean, and the talking, but that can really help get the laughter going. Feet hip distance apart, outer edges of your feet parallel. Have both of your blocks at the ready on their highest height. Exhale to fold forwards. Everyone can do this even if your pelvis is unstable. Outer edges of your feet parallel. Lengthen your spine forwards. Lengthen forwards from your pubic bone to your navel, from your navel to your collarbones. Breathe into the intensity wherever it is in your body. Welcome it. Yes, I can do this. Fantastic. Amazing. Another contraction. Yes, great. My body's doing the right thing. And bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale and come all the way up. All right. Let's come into warrior one. Okay. So if you're not doing warrior one because your pelvis is unstable, then you're doing Parsvottanasana. So you've got your blocks. Whoops. You've got your heel to heel in terms of your alignment, wobbling. Press down, glue down through the right big toe. Lean into your back leg. Exhale to fold forward. That's if you've got pelvic issues. You can always bring the hands onto a chair if that's too low. Otherwise, we're doing warrior one. You're going to take a block. Take it against the wall. And you're going to bring your right foot up onto that block. It's a little bit tricky for me because I've got the cupboard. So I'm going to take 2 blocks there. So I've got my foot up on the block. So my right foot is higher than my left. I'm going to step my left leg back into a sort of lunge. My hands are on the wall. I'm going to bend my right knee towards the wall, push away from the wall, and extend the left heel back towards the floor. Doesn't need to come to the floor. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Keep the chest lifted. So in order to keep the chest lifted, I'm pulling the hands sort of down the wall to lift my chest up. And inhale to come up and go to the other side. Left foot is up. I'm going to step my right foot back. Hands to the wall. Bend the front knee. Sit the left buttock down. Push away from the wall. Reach the right heel back. Lift the right knee up away from the floor. And push back away from the wall. Notice where the sensations are in your body. Smile, welcome them. Don't push them away. They're great. This is the way you're going to get your baby out with these strong sensations. So really welcome the body. Don't go against the body and make it harder for it. Inhale and come up. Imagine how hard the body has to work if every time a contraction comes, you are resisting it. No, I can't do this. No, stop. The mind very much affects labor. It's very important that we work with the mind. Yes, I can do this. Yes, my body was made for this. Yes, my pelvis is huge. My baby can just drop out. Those sorts of things. All right. Let's come into a half Uttanasana again. Feet hip distance apart, folding forwards, looking forwards. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And bend the knees. Inhale and come up. I'm going to ask you to have a chair. Now, you can use a kitchen chair. Make sure it's a solid chair. You can probably actually use an armchair for this, but make sure it's solid. So I'm going to hold onto the sides of the chair. Let me come further this way and step into downward facing dog and lengthen back. So I'm holding onto the sides of the chair, my thumbs on top of the seat, my fingers curl underneath. You could always have your hands flat here if you've got sort of a big armchair or a sofa or a bed even. Reach the buttocks back behind you to elongate the sides of the chest. Now from here, I'm going to start to move my shoulders forwards to travel my shoulders and my hips forwards into upward facing dog. You don't need to go very low with the pelvis. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest up. If you feel it in the lower back, lift the pelvis up a bit. Press the chest forwards between the arms. Lift the hips up and go back, downward facing dog. Even with some pelvic pain, you can try this. Be careful, but you can try this. Draw the hips back, lengthen the side chest back. Inhale, go forwards. Lift the chest. Lift the knees. Lift the hips up now and go back and step up. Come up to standing. All right. We're going to do one more back bending movement. You know, everything starts to get very heavy at the front in pregnancy. It can feel really great to just open the chest, open the shoulders, and, you know, get that openness through the front of the body. We're going to come into a pose called Chatushpadasana. Take the block between the thighs lengthways this way. Feet flat. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Have the hands flat. Inhale as you lift the hips up. Come right onto the top of the shoulder bones. Push the feet into the floor. Deep inward, deep outward breath. You can visualize something if you can focus. Big flower, big fat lotus flower floating on the water, pink, white. Exhale to go down. Rest down for a moment. And exhale to go up. Come right onto the top of your shoulder bones. Push your shin bones down towards your feet. Lift your buttocks up. Lift your shoulder blades up. Exhale to come all the way down. Take your block out. Roll over onto your right or left side, whichever works for you. And then come up. From there, we're going to come into forward virasana just to release the back. Take your block. Come into kneeling. If you find it hard to kneel, you could always take a block or a blanket between your heels and your buttocks so that you're, you know, a little bit higher and it's not so strong in the knees. Walk the hands forwards. Place your forehead on your block. Deep inward, deep outward breath. And then inhale and come up. All right. Come into lying onto your left side for relaxation. So take a bolster if you've got one. Otherwise, you know, rolled blanket, a cushion, a pillow, something. Have a high blanket underneath your head because when you lie on your side, you don't want the head to drop down this way. So you're going to lie this way on your left side. Cover yourself up if it's cold. It's really cold in Melbourne today. So, you know, put a big blanket over you. Draw the bolster towards you so you can rest your knee on that bolster and rest your arm in this way. Settle yourselves there, close the eyes. Take a moment just to connect with your baby. You know, your baby's doing yoga with you. Feels lovely, doesn't it? To be sharing this, quite special. So, Take a few long, deep breaths, long, deep inhalations, long, deep exhalations. And with each exhalation, just surrender, completely surrender your body to the floor. Soften the forehead. Soften the skin between the eyebrows. Broaden the skin between the shoulder blades. Broaden the buttocks. Soften the palms of the hands. From there, see yourselves at the top of a staircase. Any staircase you like. Visualize your own staircase. It might be carpeted, it might be wooden, it might be marble, anything you like. And the staircase goes down, and you follow it down with your hand on the banister, walking down slowly, carefully, down and down and down, until you come to the bottom of the staircase and there is a door. And slowly you open that door. And you step into the space beyond. This space beyond could be a room. It could be somewhere in nature. It could be a place in your house, a room in someone else's house, or perhaps somewhere you've never been before. But it is a place where you feel utterly safe to birth your baby. For some of you, it might be the birthing suite in the hospital. Somewhere where you feel safe and supported to let go and birth your baby. Have a look around the room. What's there? What colours are there? Or the outdoor space? What objects are there? Are there trees, water, or are there some nice armchairs? A big sofa maybe? Whatever you like, you can put in that room, in that space. Notice the temperature of the space. Notice the smell of the space. Notice the sounds in the space. And most importantly, notice who is that in that space. Who makes you feel safe? And then visualize yourself feeling some labor sensations and how you would cope with those. Would you be moving? What position would you be in? Who would you be supported by? How would you feel? Feel yourself completely letting go into the rhythm of labor. See your body strong and healthy and coping. And now you know it's time to birth. You can feel your baby's head and you're ready. Feel your baby being born. Notice which position you're in, who's supporting you, and how you feel. You're meeting your baby for the first time. How does that feel? Again, notice who's around you. Notice who supports you. Notice that supportive space that you're in, that you've created with your visualization. And then, for now, perhaps your body's not ready, you're not ready, you're not at the end of your pregnancy. Just put a hold on that. Just say, okay, I'd like this to be, but not now. And draw your mind back. See yourself dressed, ready, leaving the room, walking to the door. Turn your head back and just take a last glance at that room or that space where you felt really safe and secure. Open the door, step out into the hallway, close the door behind you. It's there for later. Climb the stairs all the way to the top. And bring yourself right back into your room where you're doing this practice with me, to my voice. And take a moment just to assess, what did you see in that room? What was important to you? What made you feel safe? Who needs to be there? And most importantly, who doesn't need to be there? And how can you plan for this in reality? You might want to jot some things down after this session. Start to move your fingers and your toes. As you're ready, open the eyes. Bring yourselves up to sitting. Come to sitting cross-legged. Let's finish together with Yoga Mudra. Bring the hands together to Namaste, to the center of the forehead and the heart. Bow the head to the heart, to the wisdom and compassion within. And then release your hands and raise your head up.